There's a moment in every great athlete's career when the conversation shifts. It stops being about what they can do and starts being about whether they should still be doing it at all. For LeBron James, that moment arrived this season, loudly, publicly, and with a lot of people weighing in who weren't asked. It started, as these things often do, with a press conference nobody was supposed to read too much into. After a Lakers loss, head coach J.J. Redick stepped to the podium and spoke carefully. He didn't call anyone out by name. He didn't throw anyone under the bus. He talked about role clarity, about offensive disorganization, and about accountability. And then he pointed that last part squarely at himself. "That's on me," he said. But here's the thing about press conferences. It doesn't matter what you mean. It matters what people hear. What people heard was that the Lakers had a LeBron problem. Craig Carton, host of The Great Garden Show, was one of the first to say it out loud with zero hesitation. To him, Redick's measured words about offensive structure were actually a quiet indictment of the 41-year-old still taking up space in the starting lineup. "One of the big three problems with the Lakers is LeBron James," Carton said flatly, and then he kept going. "LeBron James is not a good basketball player anymore. LeBron James defensively is a pure liability. He is officially washed." That word, washed, lit the entire sports media landscape on fire. It got debated on every show, picked apart on every podcast, turned into a headline on every platform that covers basketball. And Carton wasn't done. He went beyond performance and started talking about legacy. "For a guy who considers himself an ambassador to this sport," he said, "you are killing the very sport you think you're the king of. That's a different kind of criticism. That's not about pick and roll coverage or three-point percentage. That's about what LeBron James means to basketball itself." And then Carton added one more log to the fire. He brought up Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime agent and close friend, who had allegedly appeared on a podcast with Max Kellerman, and when asked who he'd want taking a game-winning shot, chose Michael Jordan over LeBron. Whether you take that at face value or not, the symbolism was hard to ignore. If Carton was loud, Byron Scott was something different, credible. Scott played for the Lakers. He coached the Lakers. He won 3 championships in purple and gold. When he speaks about that franchise, he's earned the right to be heard. And when he was asked whether it was time for LeBron to move on, he didn't dance around it. "I think this should be his last year here," Scott said. "Not in the NBA, just here." There's a real distinction in that sentence. He wasn't saying LeBron was done with basketball. He was saying LeBron was done with this chapter. That the Lakers needed to start building their future around Luka Doncic, and that LeBron's presence, however well-intentioned, was making that harder. An anonymous Eastern Conference executive made the same case to ESPN in February, putting it in cold financial terms. Move off LeBron, use the cap space, and retool around Luka. That wasn't a hot take from a guy trying to go viral. That was a front office mind inside the league making a strategic calculation. The narrative had taken full shape. The coach implied it. A franchise legend said it out loud. A media personality declared it. And a league executive confirmed it from the inside. The only voice missing was LeBron's. Then LeBron spoke. And nothing was the same after. It happened after the Lakers were eliminated from the playoffs. He had just dropped 40 points in a loss. He walked to the podium and started talking. And at first it sounded like every other post-game press conference he'd ever given. Measured, vague, professional, and then it wasn't. "I don't know," he said. "I got a lot to think about, to be honest. Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, I got a lot to think about." Those words detonated. LeBron James, a man who spent 20-plus years never letting anyone see the doubt, had just sat in a chair after a playoff sweep and said out loud that the end might be coming. Joy Taylor was quick to pump the brakes. "He's not retiring," she said with confidence. Her reasoning was grounded in something deeply human. LeBron has been public for years now about his desire to share an NBA court with his son, Bronny. That window is still open. Bronny's rookie-scale contract runs through at least the 2026-27 season, and there's reportedly a $7.9 million incentive tied to that deal that's structured specifically to make a father-son reunion financially attractive. No father in the history of professional basketball has ever played alongside his own son at this level. Walking away now means that never happens. But someone on the same panel noticed something that most people had glossed over. After the playoff loss, LeBron told reporters he still believed he was in the 90th or 95th percentile of NBA players. On the surface, that sounds like confidence, but think about what he's actually saying. 10% of players in the league are better than him, maybe 5%. No great ever verbalizes that, one panelist pointed out, because before you can say something like that, you have to think it first. For 20 years, LeBron James didn't talk like that. He was the standard. He didn't measure himself against the field. He was the field. And now, in a quiet post-game room after a sweep, he was quietly admitting that the field had caught up. Here's where it gets complicated though. The numbers don't exactly cooperate with the washed narrative. LeBron played 60 games this season, averaging 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds per game at 41 years old in his 23rd NBA season. He ranked 26th in the entire league in scoring, not among players his age, not among veterans, but league-wide against everyone. He shot 51.5% from the field. His true shooting percentage was approximately 59.4%. His player efficiency rating was 20.8 and his box plus minus was a positive 3.5, meaning the Lakers were meaningfully better with him on the floor than off it. The team went 39-21 in games LeBron played. That's not a liability, that's an asset. And then there was March. Something clicked in March. LeBron accepted his role as the third option behind Doncic and Austin Reeves, and the results were stunning. The Lakers went 15-2. LeBron shot 56.2% from the field, dished out 7 assists per game, and did it all at 18.5 points a night. Lower volume, higher efficiency, and a team that suddenly looked like a genuine contender. In his final 3 regular season games before the playoffs, he averaged 24 points, 9.7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals. These are not the numbers of a man who needs to be put out to pasture, but the subtle signs of regression are real, and they deserve honesty. His three-point shooting sat at 31.7%. His explosiveness in transition, the thing that once made him the most terrifying fast break player in basketball, has visibly diminished. When Doncic or Reeves got hurt and LeBron had to carry more of the offensive load, the weight showed on a 41-year-old body in ways it wouldn't have 5 years ago. Regression isn't failure. Regression is just time doing what time does to everyone. The real question isn't whether LeBron has declined. Of course he has. The question is whether the decline has reached the point where staying hurts more than it helps. And by every honest measure this season, the answer is still no. As of now, LeBron James has made no decision. The Athletic reported on April 17th that retirement remains a real possibility, and that the Lakers themselves genuinely don't know what he's going to do. ESPN's Brian Windhorst described the situation as authentically undecided. Not a foregone conclusion being dragged out for drama, but a man truly wrestling with one of the biggest choices of his life. On one side, the chance to play with Bronny, a body that, against all odds, still produces at an elite level, the pull of competition, the hunger that never fully goes away in people built the way LeBron is built. On the other side, a body that required 14 games on the shelf this season just to manage nerve pain in his back. 23 professional seasons of daily grinding, recovery, and sacrifice. Teammates quietly saying there's nothing left to prove, and an internal question that no statistic can answer. Does the fire still burn enough to make all of it worth it? Speculation about a sentimental return to Cleveland or a stop in Golden State has floated around, but nothing has been confirmed. The door in Los Angeles remains open. No organizational decision has been made. What we're left with is a portrait of an extraordinary athlete standing at a genuine crossroads, not manufactured for attention, not leveraged for a contract, but real. A 41-year-old man, a father, a businessman, a legend, sitting with the weight of a decision that only he can make. The NBA will keep watching, and honestly, so will the rest of us.